Welcome back to Travelin Jacket Guidester. This week we are featuring Scotland, one of my favorite countries in all of Europe, really all the world. Scotland is an amazing country full of endless beauty, natural landscapes, deep, rich history, a hilarious people, good whiskey, and despite what you might think, actually good food. I've been about a dozen times, all different times of the year, and I'd go back again tomorrow. There really is just an endless amount of things to see and do and places to explore and beauty to behold. The first thing you'll want to consider when visiting Scotland is the when. When to visit depends heavily on the region, the time of year, and ultimately what you want to accomplish while you're there. Spring is a beautiful time to visit Scotland for its clean, fresh air, the mountains, countryside, the lochs, and all its scenic splendor. But it's a little bit cold in the spring. However, the crowds are lower. It's the low season, the shoulder season, so you will get a lot more of the sights to yourself. Summer is by far the most popular time to visit Scotland. This is for the warmer weather, and when families go, their kids have summer vacation. So summer is the most popular time. It's going to be the time of year when you're going to see the most people. You're going to be waiting in lines longer at certain attractions. There will be less availability, hotels and things like that. But it is a beautiful time to visit. The weather is warmer, there's more accessibility as far as where you can go, the mountain passes have thawed, the scenery is beautiful, you don't have to bundle up like you do in the spring, fall, and winter, so that is nice. Also, the summer months hold an abundance of festivals and things going on, which is really awesome. One of my personal favorites is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival held every year in August. This is the world's largest performing arts festival, and I have to say, it's amazing. The entire city just comes alive for 3 full weeks. Every street, every pub, every restaurant, every venue is full of activities and performing arts and concerts and all kinds of things. Now, in my opinion, the best time to visit Scotland is September. The crowds have died down a little bit, so you don't have to compete with all the people like you do in the summer months, but the weather hasn't turned yet. So it's not very cold. You still get the benefit of some of the warmer weather, but you don't have to compete with the crowds and the people. Also, the landscape has come alive with the blooming of heather. Late August, September is when the heather, which is a plant that covers so much of Scotland, blooms, and it blooms purple. So you'll be in the countryside and you'll see entire hillsides just covered in this blooming purple heather. And then there's winter, which you'd think would not be a good time to visit Scotland because it's cold, and it does get cold, especially the wind combined with the drop in temperatures. It can get very breezy up there in the mountains and even in the cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow. But there are some benefits to visiting Scotland in the wintertime, most of which is skiing and winter activities. There's a lot of really good skiing up in the CAIRNGORMs and the Highlands of Scotland, so if you're into skiing, this is a good time to go. Also, the winter festivals and the Christmas markets. The Christmas market in Edinburgh in particular is one of the coolest I've seen. There's streets full of markets and little vendors and unique things going on. So it is a cool time to visit the country. So if you want to see Scotland in all its splendor, I would recommend an 8 to 10 day itinerary to really get a good grasp of all the things that I'm going to highlight here. Most trips to Scotland will start in Edinburgh, and that's what I would personally recommend. From here you can rent a car and head north and do kind of a circuit, which will take you through gorgeous old town centers, stunning natural beauty where you can soak up the local culture and relive the thrilling history that just abounds in Scotland. As I said, you'll want to start in Edinburgh, the capital city, one of my favorite cities in all of Europe. Known as the Athens of the North for its architectural beauty, the capital of Scotland has a long and illustrious tradition, which has preserved a vibrant historic district. The city's beautiful natural setting is also one of the qualities that sets it apart. Must-sees include the castle, St. Giles Cathedral, the Palace of the Holyrood House, and of course, Arthur's Seat. Arthur's Seat is remnants of an ancient volcano overlooking Edinburgh, where you can hike up to get excellent panoramic views of the city and surrounding countryside. After you get a taste of Edinburgh, I would recommend renting a car, which you can do at the central train station easily, and heading north. Driving in Scotland is very easy. They do drive on the left side of the road, but once you get used to that, it's quite easy. But I would recommend getting a GPS. Do not rent a car in Scotland without a GPS. The last thing you want to do is get stuck in the Highlands with just trying to use a map or Google Maps. Get a GPS from the car rental place to ensure that you don't lose your way up there in the Highlands. Now your first stop will be the beautiful historic town of Stirling, just a short drive north from Edinburgh. Dominating the beautiful historic city is Stirling Castle. The castle dates back to the 12th century and has played an important part in the evolution of Scotland's history. If you're a Braveheart fan, you will really love Stirling, and it is home to the site of the famous Battle of Stirling Bridge and Wallace Monument, which gives a great narrative of the events surrounding the Scottish hero and which also houses William Wallace's actual sword. Next stop, St. Andrews, which if you're a golfer is going to be at the very top of your list on your visit to Scotland. St. Andrews is a beautiful historic city full of history, learning, and culture with plenty to keep you busy, including the famous golf course. If you want to get around to golfing, make sure to book a long way out. Next stop is the Cairngorms. The Cairngorms is a mountain range in the eastern Highlands of Scotland that has a giant national park perfect for outdoor recreation. I would recommend basing yourself in Aviemore, a little town on the western edge of the park where you can explore the highest summit in the area, Cairngorm Mountain. Tourists from all over the world visit this area to ski in the winter months and hike in the warmer. The mountain is home to Scotland's only funicular railway, and from here it's just a short 90-minute walk where on a fine clear day you will experience magnificent 360-degree views over the gorgeous Scottish mountains. Just south of Aviemore, you'll find the DALWHINNIE Distillery, home to a famous Highland single malt whiskey. Here you can enjoy the DALWHINNIE tour, which offers visitors a detailed explanation of the traditional art of malt whiskey distilling. After you explore the Cairngorms and get a good taste of whiskey at the DALWHINNIE Distillery, you'll head north to Inverness, the unofficial capital of the Highlands, which serves as a perfect place to explore Loch Ness and the surrounding Highland region. Inverness is a beautiful city with a diversity of things to do both in the city and around the lush countryside. This is also the perfect base to explore nearby Loch Ness. Loch Ness is just a few miles from Inverness with plenty to do, such as hike, visit the legendary Urquhart Castle situated right along the coast, try and learn how to play the bagpipes, or try your luck looking for the famous Loch Ness Monster. I swear he's real. After Inverness and Loch Ness, you'll head over to the West Country. On your way over to Isle of Skye, you'll stop by one of the most iconic sites in all of Scotland, DONAN Castle. Situated on a small island at the point where three great sea lochs meet, DONAN is surrounded by majestic scenery with a rich history going back centuries. Now, one of the most dramatic and famous landscapes in all of Scotland can be found at the Isle of Skye in the West Country. This area is just wow. One of the most beautiful natural landscapes I've ever seen, and one of the draws that brings me back to Scotland over and over again. The Isle of Skye gets its name from the Old Norse meaning Cloud Island. The largest of the Inner Hebrides, Skye is home to some of Scotland's most iconic landscapes. Throw on some sturdy boots and explore this unique landscape on foot to get a real in-depth look. There are several main hiking paths with different starting points that will get you into the countryside where you may experience all its natural beauty. Next up is Fort William. Called the outdoor capital of the UK and a perfect place to base yourself for more outdoor recreation. Fort William's setting is dramatic under the towering of Britain's highest mountain, Ben Nevis, which stands at 4,413 feet. Fort William is where hikers and climbers base themselves to climb the formidable Ben Nevis. Now, to complete your circuit of Scotland, you may consider ending in Glasgow, which is easy to fly out of and is a fun, eclectic, thriving city full of art, history, and culture. Scotland's second city, Glasgow, is a very different experience than the capital, Edinburgh. It's a much more of an eclectic modern city known for its culture and style. The city offers a blend of internationally acclaimed museums and galleries, stunning architecture, vibrant nightlife, good shopping, and a diverse array of restaurants and bars. This is to give you an awe at the end of the video. So Maverick, what did you think? What do you think about our journey through Scotland? Would you go and would you use Guidester on your trip? Huh, buddy? The strong silent type. So that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope that you're inspired to go to Scotland.
Visit our website at guidester.com to see how we can help unlock your personal and complete travel experience.